But for now, let's go on to one of the most riveting series. I mean, this is by far the
Oof.
most. This series has just been crazy. I mean, Miami Heat was first part of the. I mean, 8-1 gentleman sweep of the Bucks. They go
Yeah.
against the Knicks and then they thrashed the Knicks. I mean, there were a
Yep.
lot of close games from the box score, but they weren't close at all. And now thrashed them for 3 games, and now 3 games straight losing. And they finally are at a game 7 with the Celtics having a historic, not only a historic run, but the chance to make a is it now 0 to 150 chance of ever being down 3-0 and coming back 4 games. I mean, this could be a historic run, guys. What do you think about it?
I think it's very similar in that sense that the Celtics are more skilled, and the series started off just that way, right? They tried to win just off of their skill. They tried to win just off of their players, or their just they tried to outskill the Miami Heat, but they were too grit and grime for them. They were too like they had too much hustle for the Celtics. But I think that script has flipped at this point when in Game 4, Celtics came out with more hustle than the Miami Heat, which is the one thing that they had all this playoff series long, or all this run, right? And I feel like they've just taken their souls at this point, and I feel like the Celtics have all the momentum. They're going back home, even though they're not the best team at home, and you can't really guess with them. They can be on and off sometimes, but I would still probably favor the Celtics, even though I want Miami to win, and I've been wanting them to win for like 3 games straight now. But it hasn't been panning out, mostly because I feel like Jimmy Butler has looked disengaged. He looks like kind of frightened of Robert Williams at this point, because he's blocked his shots multiple times. Even White has blocked his shot a couple of times. It's a lot of people have blocked him at this point, and he feels like even today, like closing out that game, he wasn't even looking at the basket. He was just setting screens for his players and stuff like that. But I feel like a shift has came about since that Game 4, wherein Celtics are fighting for it harder than the Miami Heat, and which is the one thing that the Miami Heat were built with. And I think that's the one thing that was propelling them forward. But I feel like now the Celtics have all the momentum and they have all the hunger, and we might just witness history with that Game 7.
I mean, uh, I always believed in the Celtics. I have always been saying that Celtics is my championship winning. My
Okay, Mr.
confidence did
Bandwagon.
not my confidence did not waver
You can
even
see
for
that
one
accent
second.
color behind him too.
You can see the light behind me. I have always been a Celtics fan. Lakers, I don't know what team is that. I just watched Lakers a lot. But Celtics is the team that is closest to my heart. I've been following the Celtics team since the past 25 years, 1 year before I was born. And that is the kind of support that I've had for the Celtics team. And that is what the Celtics team is showing. But right, talking about in all seriousness, this series has been very, very, very challenging for both the teams. I mean, the reason why the videos didn't come out and reason why we were not recording because Lakers got swept, Celtics were down 3-0. I was considering retirement, and that is the reason
No,
why we
no,
not
he
right
wasn't
because
considering retirement.
I
He
retired.
declared retirement, and he was like, "I'm not coming back." And we had to
After
literally just convince
after
him,
what Derek
"Come,
White did, he came out of the closet. He was like, "We're back, boys. We are
we
back."
back." He was like, "We back. Let's record.
It's
I
like
mean, also
'96 Jordan all over again.
I'm back."
even in today's game, we almost lost the game. It was the three free throws. Sorry, it's a tongue twister. The three free throws that Jimmy Butler made got them back in the game, and I think so. And we saw Jalen Brown saying that he was praying all that time. We all were praying at that point of moment. I don't know if the prayers worked or if it was the skill of the player or was it a fluke or was it a stroke of luck.
Oof.
I
I
don't know.
In
It is
today's game,
just
I don't know why they kept Max Strus in the game and in the last possession. Do they not have another player to guard Derek White? Do they just not have enough like rotation players? Could not they have subbed in a defensive player at that point? Because it was just 3 seconds on the clock. You're not looking for offense at that point, right? Not looking for a shooter on the game. So why was Max Strus in the game? is he that good defensively? Because he gives up a lot of size to Derek White, right?
That's right.
I
I think
mean,
so.
not
It was just a
really.
pure poor decision making call at that point of time. It could have
Check
been
the height difference on those two.
right. And that is
Derek
not
White is
what
6'3".
Like, but he has a good wingspan, right?
No, he's a 6'5" wingspan. He's almost had a negative wingspan. Kevin
But like,
O'Connor
what
just
is Max Strus? Max Strus looked really small on that play, bro.
Max Strus is probably 6'2". I
No
mean,
way.
yeah,
No
yeah,
way.
for sure. He has to be 6'2". I mean, he can't be smaller. He's 6'5".
it's 6'5".
Then Derek White is not 6'3".
I mean, I just saw Kevin
Just let
O'Connor
me check.
scouting report on. I just saw Kevin O'Connor scouting report, so I remember his
How did Max
wingspan
Strus look
and
so
height.
small in front of Derek White then? Wow, okay.
Derek
He's
White is
I
taller
mean,
6'4".
than Derek White?
yeah, he's taller than 6'4", and Derek White has almost a negative wingspan. I think his wingspan is like
Wow.
6'5".
Okay. I was
Yeah,
wrong then. But like still I feel like he gave up a free rebound because he was too high on him. Like maybe that's just preventing him from taking that three, I guess. He was top blocking him, but things go the wrong way. And I think that's why you never want to be in a game 7 for stuff
for
like
sure.
that. Because like a second of gameplay could just ruin your whole season. Everything could just get ruined for nothing.
This was Miami's game 7, to be very honest. This game
Oh,
6
for
was
sure. I feel
Miami's
like
game 7.
they should have won this game, and it would take a ginormous effort from their stars in game 7. And something like what Steph did in that game 7, that's what they need at this point to win in game 7 there, because the Celtics have all the momentum. They don't have to make any adjustments. Miami does, because they've made all their adjustments, and it's been working for 3 games. Why not work with the same thing again? It's gonna be in Boston, and we saw what the crowd was for game 5 in Boston. It was electric to begin that game, and Tatum has been Tatum again. So you never know, like, at this point you would have to be, I think, stupid to favor Miami, because they've failed 3 times out of 3, and nothing looks to change in game 4, I guess, like, or game 7, my bad, right?
I mean, that is what
For
we've
sure.
talked about on this podcast whole season long. That Boston is a whole series long. That Boston has been the better talented team than Miami, or Miami has that offensive energy, has that clutchness in Jimmy Butler that probably wins the game. If Jimmy Butler needs to show a lot in the next game if they even have a chance of winning it. And I'm not being what do you call it? Uh, I
Yes,
just
you are
don't
being
want to.
biased.
No, I'm not being
Yes,
biased.
you are being.
That's what I'm trying to say. I mean, it is not in a derogatory way, but that's what it would take the Miami Heat to come back, and I don't see that happening as well. I was always
I
with my Lakers faith. I was all sorry with my Celtics faith. I was always with Celtics, but but I have got. But I think so. They've defended Jimmy Butler well in the past 3 games, and I think so that will continue to happen. Jimmy Butler might not show, but he would take a 50-point game for them to qualify.
I mean, talking about the adjustment thing, right, Rudranesh? This is what worked for the Celtics the entire season, right? The three-guard lineup with Marcus Smart, Derek White, Malcolm Brogdon. And even in the I remember when we were giving this first preview, right? We talked about how in the game 7 against against Philly, Joe Mazzola preferred that two-man lineup, two big-man lineup, and how if they're
And
gonna yeah, and if they're gonna
Robert
play that
Williams
against
has
the Heat.
been amazing this series. Grant Williams and Robert Williams have been amazing this series.
Yeah, I think Grant Williams, the only mistake that he made was taunting Jimmy Butler in that game 3, right?
Yeah, other
And
than that, he's been fantastic.
after
Yeah.
that, he has been good. I mean, he always looked for that spark plug, right? You remember that game 7 last year against the Bucks? I think it was the game 6 when he was just standing in the corner and he was twishing everything that came his way. But
Hmm.
that's what you need from a Grant Williams, right? You need him to, punch a Jimmy Butler, punch a Max Strus, punch a Duncan Robinson, take a few fouls, hit a couple of corner threes, and that's literally all you need. Get into Jimmy Butler's face, not provoke him, but get into everyone's face. Guard Jason Tatum when he's into a fight. He's like a Draymond Green for them, right? He's just
I
someone
thought
who,
that was Marcus Smart, because like he
I
has
mean,
those
Marcus Smart,
tendencies, but
not anymore. And you know what? Marcus Smart almost made them lose this game, right? It's like Derek White, obviously
I
a
mean, I
heroic
can't
performance.
decide whether he's playing good or whether he's playing bad, because like
Exactly. I mean,
the Marcus Smart experience is always like he'll have very good plays and then very shit plays.
and this comes
Because
from a
like
player who used to root for Marcus Smart a lot. I used to love Marcus Smart for all his intensity, for all his defense. I thought he was the best defender. Not when he won the defensive player of the year. I think that was more of a team effort. But a couple of seasons before that, I really thought he was the best perimeter defender in the entire league. And Marcus Smart, I mean, obviously you have 3 seconds, right? You need to chuck up that shot, and probably Jalen Brown is not taking that shot because of his dribble, and he has that slow
but
ass jumper.
like
So, but at the same point in time,
similarly
yeah, go ahead.
Similarly, sorry about that. Similarly, I feel like Miami had a lot of chances to win that game as well. Like Duncan missed two very open threes. That's the best 3-point shooter that they have. He's one of the best shooters in the league at the moment. So I feel like Miami, a lot didn't go well for Miami either, because two of their stars just couldn't hit anything tonight and they were still winning it with 3 seconds to go.
But
So we
see,
we really don't know what is gonna happen. I feel like it's gonna be a toss up, and game sevens are always just like a coin
yeah,
flip.
for
And
sure, I completely agree with that point, right? But if I'm Joe Mazzulla in that hurdle with 3 seconds left, there's no way I'm making a Marcus Smart contested fade away 3-pointer being our last shot, right? There's no way that shot is the
nah,
last shot with the season
but
on the line.
what
And
was more likely? What was more likely, I think, was that he drew up a play for somebody else, but the Miami Heat kind of blocked those options off. So I think this was a third wrinkle out of that play, wherein
the-
both
but
Jalen and Jason were tied up,
but still,
and
I
that's
think
how Marcus
this
Smart got
this
the ball. But
see with Ime Udoka, I really thought that Marcus Smart has changed his tendencies to shoot. I mean, if you remember
nope,
that game one with Brooklyn Nets, I remember Bill Simmons saying that 10 out of 10 times Marcus Smart was taking
he
that
was,
three, but
yeah,
yeah, and then he passed that ball and it was like a
yeah,
heroic Jason Tatum
mm,
layup, but and that was with six
really
seconds on
got
the clock.
napping.
So yeah, and I mean Marcus Smart. I mean, I really thought he changed a lot of things, but Joe Mazzulla has, I mean, encouraged him a lot, or at least not kept him up to that same, the same, I don't know, kind of
But to be fair to
bar.
Marcus, that shot was almost in. It just rattled in and out. So, I mean, another day that just goes in
It's
and we
neither
don't
here
see
nor
him.
there, for sure. It's
And
neither here nor there. But at the same point in time, I mean, it puts us in the most favorable position as fans and podcasters too, that we get to see a game seven,
oh,
because I mean we'd have to wait another couple of days for the
I mean,
finals
for
More
matchup to
me,
start.
content, boys. More
um,
content.
For
yeah,
sure.
more content, but also as a Warriors fan, I mean, the most recent 3-1 in the finals was blown by us. So I'd be happy to just hear the end of that, and it'd be the new hot thing that, oh, somebody blew a 3-goal lead. So that'd be something even better for me. But honestly, I don't want the Celtics to win. Like I said at the preview, I hate the Celtics with a passion, and I still want the Miami Heat to win, even though my prediction is that whoever gets through is just playing for second. Denver Nuggets are
For
going
sure.
to crush them, whoever gets to the finals. So
I
What's your
think
problem
so
with
too.
Celtics, bro? I'm gonna beat your shit,
I think we're gonna keep a
let's let them
customary
make it out of this series first.
for sure. I think we're gonna keep a customary predictions. Game seven predictions. Who's gonna be the best player in the game seven? Who's gonna be the bust of the games of the game seven? Who's the surprising player? And obviously, I mean, whoever wins goes through. So, what do you think their chances are with the Nuggets?
I think
Okay.
so.
Um.
Jason Tatum would definitely be the best player of the next game, right? And that is what I because I'm favoring Celtics, obviously. So Jason Tatum
Mm-hmm.
would probably have a humongous game. He'll take the responsibility on himself, like he did in the previous series. Probably not as humongous. He would not probably he would have a better support from Jalen Brown and Derek White Smart as well. But I think so. Jason Tatum would be the best player in the next game. The biggest bust, in my opinion, would be Duncan Robinson, probably, because I don't see him. I mean, Gabe Vincent has been a better 3-point shooter than him in this particular series. But I don't think so. Duncan Robinson would. He would probably chuck up. He would probably miss the last 2 to 3 3-pointers and that's the depth I'm going with my detailed predictions, right? And that's what I think that would probably lose them the game. So that would be the biggest bust of the game. Most surprising player, I would like to go with Caleb Martin,
Sam, how
probably. Caleb Martin, probably. Caleb
At
Martin
this
has
point,
been
he's not surprising at all, man. Like
right,
he's
right,
I
right.
been
mean,
the
But I
best
think so.
Heat player for like
no
four
Heat player
games
is
straight.
surprising at this point in time. I mean, everyone has been over their expectations. They've all exceeded
Yep.
their expectations.
That is why I'm really
So Kyle
confused if I
Lowry would
had to pick.
probably be surprising if he played a good game, right? Because he's had like one
Yeah,
good quarter this series.
yeah,
Probably,
Kevin
probably,
Love would be a surprising player if he had a good series, like good game.
yeah.
probably.
That's the only one. Rudraksh,
No,
what
Caleb
about you?
Martin, in my
Oh,
opinion,
sorry.
Caleb Martin would probably put up a big game. That is what I'm trying to say.
Oh,
That
so
is
you
that
think
he'll
he's
be.
going for 50 and Jimmy's just
No,
sitting
no, no.
there?
He's not going for 50.
Because that's the only way he's
He,
gonna surprise me at this point. Because he's been good, man. Like
yeah, yeah.
even today, he was the best player on the Heat to me.
Right, right, right. Absolutely. In the end, but I'm picking Boston Celtics to win this and go into the NBA
For
Finals.
sure.
Celtics
Now
is
you
going to
are.
win the finals as well, and the Celtics will sweep the Denver Nuggets for sure.
Oh, damn. I
Oh, okay,
mean,
okay.
so we're taking this a
Now
bit
he's
too
just
far
going for
now.
the views.
Yeah.
Now he's just going for the views. Yeah.
Rudraksh, what do you
Go
think
ahead,
about
Rudraksh.
it?
What do you think?
Uh, to me, I think Jimmy Butler is going to be Jimmy Butler again, and I think he works well best when he's has his back against his wall. So, to me, best player is going to be Jimmy, and Tatum, like his track record. I mean, someone could argue otherwise because he's had very good games in like game sixes or like elimination games. But to me, I've always felt like he's choked up in big moments, and I expect him to do that again. Not Jalen Brown. I feel like Jalen Brown is still gonna have a good game. I feel like Jason is gonna have a bust of a game. For surprising player, like I said, I don't think like all of us said, Miami can't really surprise us anymore, right? But uh, maybe it's Kevin Love, maybe it's Kyle Lowry. It has to be someone. But on the Celtics end, in a funny way, I think Marcus Smart might just surprise us all once again and just lose them the game. But I don't know who can be surprising at this point because just it's surprises all over at this point. But I'm taking Miami to win this game just because I want them to. But objectively thinking, Celtics have a better chance. But then again, they're a very rhythm kind of a team. We just never know, and they're not the best on their home floor. So yeah, Miami to
All right.
win.
All right. I'll go really quickly. I think best player, Jimmy Butler, definitely is the best player. And he's going to go off. I think he's going to get a 30-point bomber at the least, and he's going for it. But I have to take Jason
And then
Tatum.
we
I
are on
mean,
the same Celtics hate
yeah,
team.
I am on the Celtics. I am on the Jason Tatum hate team. I'm for always living for the Jason Tatum hate. I'm going for it. He's going to be the bust. The surprising player to me is going to be Bam Adebayo because he's not going to be a bust for Game 7. He's been a
Mm,
bust the last 3 games. I
yep,
mean, I hope for him to not have a bad game again, but you know that again that's over exceeding his expectations at this point of time.
yep.
And for sure, I mean, I am a legified certified Celtics hater, so I'm taking Game 7 Heat to win
Same.
and complete it down. So that's pretty much my predictions.